The dust outline of his mother's piano still scarred the living room floor. Itsuki froze in the doorway, his duffel bag slipping from his shoulder.
Oh, you're back already? You look like you've seen a ghost?
The piano? Where is my mother's piano? From the kitchen archway, Sayaka leaned with a thin smile, a cigarette balanced between her fingers.
I sold it. We need a new kitchen, and that old thing was just gathering dust. It's just a piano.
Just a piano? That was the only thing she left me. The last reminder of her hands on the keys.
Your father approved. Stop acting like a child.
Itsuki turned to his father, but Hiroshi couldn't meet his eyes. A silent, defeated man. That night, after Sayaka had gone to bed, Itsuki stood over the kitchen trash and began to dig. He pulled out a crumpled receipt. Upright piano, sold to Kosuke Piano Restoration, $500. Before the sun rose, Itsuki slipped out of the house, the crumpled receipt a weight in his pocket. Kosuke. She always said he could fix anything. Please, let it still be there. He walked through empty streets to the station, his breath fogging in the cold morning air. I have to get it back. It's not just a piano. It's the last part of her I have. The train rattled through the city, carrying him into a quieter district of old shops. I'll find it, even if I have to beg. This receipt is my only lead. He stepped off into narrow lanes, the map on his phone leading him deeper into the past. At the end of a cherry tree-lined path, a faded wooden sign read Kosuke Piano Restoration. He stood frozen, staring at the old workshop with trembling hands. Steeling himself, he pushed the heavy door open. A bell chimed overhead. The workshop smelled of aged wood and varnish. Rows of pianos stood like sleeping giants under dim light.
Come in. Come in. You must be Itsuki. I'd recognize those eyes anywhere.
He knows me? My mother really did trust this man.
Your mother, Yuki. She and I used to talk for hours about music. You look just like her.
Kosuke led him past towering cabinets of keys and hammers, toward a familiar silhouette covered in cloth.
I knew you'd come eventually. An instrument like this doesn't just disappear without its rightful owner.
With a gentle pull, the cloth slid away, and the upright piano gleamed under the workshop lamps. It's really here. All those nights she played, every memory flooding back. Itsuki stepped forward, his voice caught in his throat. He reached out, afraid it might vanish. My mother, this was her voice. Thank you for keeping it safe.
I didn't just buy it because it was cheap, son. I recognized the craftsmanship the moment that woman brought it in.
Kosuke reached into his apron and pulled out an old piano hammer, its felt worn but finely carved.
This hammer was made by the same hands that built your piano. Your grandfather, Isamu, was my teacher.
He pointed to the brass serial number on the piano frame, the engraving still sharp after nearly a century. My grandfather, Mom only ever said he was a builder. I had no idea it was this piano.
He built only a handful of instruments before the war. This one was his finest, a true piece of art.
But why didn't you just call us? Why wait for me to show up here?
I did call. A woman answered and said there'd been a mistake. Then the number was disconnected.
Sayaka. She erased every trace of this piano's worth. But I'm standing right in front of the truth now.
So I waited. I knew the rightful heir would come looking. This piano has a way of calling its family back. Look at this. I called your father's number the day after she brought it in.
So he really did try. She blocked him before my father could ever know.
The woman who answered said, "You have the wrong number," then hung up. I called 3 times.
That voice. It could only be Sayaka.
I even left a voicemail. But it was deleted from your father's phone within an hour.
She stole more than the piano. She stole every chance of getting it back.
I should have done more. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. You've given me more than I hoped for. Now I have the truth.
What will you do?
I'm going to make her pay. But first, I need to get my father to see what she really is. Kosuke retrieved a yellowed envelope from his desk drawer and slid it across the workbench.
This piano is one of only 3 pre-war Yamaha uprights hand-built by Isamu. It's museum grade.
Museum grade? That woman sold a piece of history for $500.
The current appraisal puts it at $20,000. 40 times what she sold it for.
40 times. That's theft beyond anything I imagined.
Only 3 exist. One in a Tokyo museum, one lost, and this one right here.
I can't let this go. This changes everything.
Take this. It's certified. Use it to show your father the truth.
Itsuki took the document, the weight of its numbers heavy in his hands. With this, my father can't look away. But I have to be careful. Sayaka must not see this coming.
I have an idea. You can repay me by teaching children here. The piano stays in my studio until you finish.
Teach? It'll take months. But I can't ask for charity. This is my debt to settle.
I'll handle all the scheduling. You just bring your talent. This piano deserves a musician who loves it.
Itsuki grasped the old man's hand. A deal was struck, sealed not with money but with trust. By the next afternoon, Itsuki was back. A shy 8-year-old sat beside him, fingers hovering over the keys. This is my penance. Every lesson brings me one step closer to bringing her piano home. The double life began. At home, he was the grieving son. In the workshop, a patient teacher building a secret future. Sayaka has no idea. Neither does my father. I'll let them think I'm just out wasting time. His conservatory assignments piled up unread, but the piano became his anchor, even if only for an hour a day. I'll pay every cent. Then I'll walk into that house, appraisal in hand, and watch her world collapse. A week passed, then 2. The children's hesitant scales merged into hesitant melodies under Itsuki's patient hands. At the conservatory, an unread notice warned of academic probation. He stuffed it into his bag and walked to the next lesson. My grades are falling apart, but every yen I earn is another nail in Sayaka's coffin. He began collecting evidence. At home, he photographed bank statements left in an open drawer before Sayaka could hide them. She flaunted new designer bags weekly. A second car appeared in the driveway. His father said nothing. These statements show regular transfers labeled Renovation, but no contractor ever showed up. Just more shopping trips. He copied every page and stored them in his dorm room, far from Sayaka's reach, alongside the appraisal.
You look worn thin. Teaching isn't supposed to destroy you.
It's the only thing keeping me together. The files are almost complete. I have the appraisal, the call log, and now a paper trail. But I need my father to ask the right question. Itsuki came home late, careful to shut the door quietly. Voices drifted from the kitchen, low and urgent.
The buyer called today. He realized the piano is worth more and wants to resell it to me.
What? But the sale was done. How could that happen?
If we take a small loan, just 30,000, we can buy it back and resell for double. Think of it as an investment.
She's fabricating a buyer. This is pure fraud. I need to record every word. His thumb tapped the recording app. The red circle blinked.
Honey, don't you want a beautiful kitchen? The contractor promised to start by summer.
Well, if you think we can recover the costs easily.
Got it. The lie? The manipulated yes. This will break her hold. He ended the recording and slipped upstairs, the files stored beside the appraisal and bank photos. The next morning, Itsuki found his father alone at the kitchen table, coffee cooling in his cup. Dad, can I ask you something? All these renovation costs, have you checked where the money is going?
Your stepmother handles the house accounts. She just wants a comfortable home for us.
But no contractor has come, Dad. The piano money, the new car. Don't you want to see the receipts?
Stop, Itsuki. You're being paranoid. She's my wife. I trust her.
He's building walls I can't climb. If I show him now, he'll defend her harder. Itsuki's hand curled around his phone. The file's ready, but he released it. I need airtight proof. Not just payments, motive, deception. Every lie tied together. He rose, giving his father a quiet nod. The space between them felt like a chasm. Next time I speak, it won't be to ask. I'll show him everything. That afternoon, Itsuki was guiding tiny fingers through scales when the child stopped and looked up. The student said, "My mom always kept her favorite sonata in our piano bench. Just like you said your mom did, right?" The sheet music. It was in the bench. I never even thought to look for it until now. What if Sayaka threw it out? Her handwriting, her notes gone. He ended the lesson early, apologizing to the confused child, and hurried out into the street. He ran, not waiting for the bus. The route was etched into his memory. He reached the workshop, gasping for air, the cherry blossoms shaking in the wind. He shoved the door open, the bell jangling violently. Kosuke looked up from a dismantled action. The piano bench. When she sold it, was there anything inside?
Ah, the inheritance you almost lost twice. Yes, wait here.
Kosuke disappeared into the back room and returned with a thin folder, its edges worn.
She almost threw it out, but I found these tucked behind the felt lining.
He handed the papers to Itsuki, pages of Debussy, faded but alive with handwritten marks. Her annotations. Tempo, rubato, dolce. These were her instructions to herself, her voice. He traced the pencil marks with his fingertip, each erasure a conversation he'd never heard. If I hadn't found this, she would have erased her forever. His chest tightened. Then, without warning, tears slipped down his cheeks. I'll play this for Dad. Not just the piano, the music she loved. He held the pages close, breathing in the faint scent of old paper and memory. For the first time in weeks, he had a clear purpose. He would make his father listen. Sayaka had noticed, Itsuki leaving before dawn, returning after dusk. When he slipped out that evening, she slipped into his room. She rifled through his drawers, nails clinking against coins and old sheet music. Her hand closed around a folded bank statement. The numbers were stark. Transfers to Kosuke Piano Restoration, each one timestamped.
So this is where you disappear to, paying off that old piano man behind our backs.
That's my own money. I earn it by teaching, and I won't apologize for it.
Teaching? With no degree. You've been stealing from your father to fund your little hobby.
What's all this confusion? Itsuki, please explain.
Dad, she's lying about everything. I can't reveal it now, but you have to trust me.
Trust? He's hidden payments from us. Your son is a thief, Hiroshi.
If I show the appraisal now, she'll claim it's forged. I have to hold on until my father asks the right question. I'm paying to restore what you threw away. But if it was just a piano, Sayaka, why did you delete Mr. Kosuke's voicemail?
What are you talking about? I never touched any voicemail.
The restorer called? I never got a message.
He called the day after she sold it. She answered, said it was a mistake, and deleted everything.
That's a wild lie. You're just bitter because I sold your precious piano.
Is it? Then let's call Mr. Kosuke right now and ask him. His call log is still on his phone.
That won't be necessary. I remember now. There was a spam call. I just blocked it to protect your father.
You deleted calls from someone trying to return a family heirloom? Sayaka, what is going on?
The room fell silent. Sayaka's fingers clenched around her lighter. The first crack. Now I just need him to follow the money.
Sayaka, why would you block a call and delete voicemails? What else haven't you told me?
It was a scammer. I get those calls all the time. I was protecting you.
More lies. She'll never admit anything. I'm done talking. Dad, if you want the truth, start with the bank statements. Check the last 6 months of renovation spending. He grabbed his bag and walked toward the door without looking back. I've done all I can. If he won't look now, he never will. The door clicked shut. Hiroshi stood frozen, the weight of his son's words pressing against his chest. Sayaka's voice softened, but her eyes flickered toward the study where the statements were kept. Hiroshi's gaze moved to the same door, a new and unsettling doubt taking root. For the first time in 7 months, he wondered what his silence had cost. With Sayaka retreating to the bedroom, Hiroshi locked himself in the study. The dust on the drawer told him how long he'd ignored it. He pulled out a stack of envelopes, all unopened, gathering dust, month after month of bank statements. His thumb broke the seal on the first one. The numbers blurred, then sharpened into focus.
Withdrawals. Thousands. Week after week.
The next page showed a luxury boutique charge, a car loan and a transfer labeled kitchen deposit that never reached any contractor.
This isn't renovation money. This is theft.
His hands shook violently as he picked up his phone. He dialed Itsuki with numb fingers.
Itsuki. I found them. The statements. I should have listened. Come home.
I'm on my way, Dad. Don't say a word to her yet. He grabbed his coat, the evidence folder under his arm. Finally, the truth would have its witness. Itsuki walked into the study and laid a yellowed envelope on the desk beside the scattered bank statements. Dad, there's more. This piano, it isn't just an instrument, it's the last thing Grandpa built.
What is this? $20,000.
Hiroshi unfolded the appraisal fully, his eyes scanning the formal letterhead and the staggering figure.
40 times what she sold it for. A museum-grade heirloom.
Your father-in-law, Isamu, built it. Only 3 exist. Kosuke knew it the moment she brought it in. Tears spilled onto the paper before Hiroshi could stop them.
Yuki. She played this every night. How could I let her memory be sold for pocket change?
He wept for his wife, for the son he'd silenced, and for the truth he'd refused to see. He's finally awake. Now we end this together. Hiroshi walked into the living room, the appraisal and statements clenched in his hand. The weight of the truth steadied his stride.
Sayaka, we need to talk. Now.
What is it this time? More accusations from your sneaky little son?
He dropped the papers on the coffee table. The numbers stared up at her like a verdict.
You think a few papers scare me? I've been managing this house while you've been asleep.
This is grand larceny. You sold a museum-grade heirloom for $500 and deleted the restorer's call.
You were too weak to notice anything, too busy mourning your dead wife to see what was right in front of you.
Get out of this house. Tonight, I'll file for divorce in the morning.
Divorce? This is my home too. I'm not going anywhere. Try to throw me out and I'll take you for every cent.
Itsuki stood in the doorway, watching the woman who stole his mother's song finally cornered, but refusing to yield.
Here's the deal. Return every cent you stole and leave by Sunday, or I call the police and press charges.
You idiot. I'll just wait for the divorce settlement. Half of everything is mine.
I froze the accounts an hour ago. No credit cards, no cash withdrawals. You have nothing to negotiate with.
You can't do this! I'll ruin you!
Itsuki watched from the doorway as his father dismantled her power brick by brick. For a split second, her mask cracked. The room heard something that sounded like a whimper.
Hand over your house keys and car keys. You're leaving tonight.
She hurled the keys onto the coffee table, her diamond ring clattering against the wood. She retreated to the bedroom, but her threat hung in the air like smoke. She would not go quietly. Itsuki slipped out into the night while the bedroom door stayed shut. His destination was the only place that still felt like home. Mr. Kosuke? It's Itsuki. I'm tired of waiting. Can you have the piano delivered tomorrow morning?
I've been hoping you'd ask. The truck leaves the shop in 1 hour.
Under the warm glow of the workshop, Kosuke supervised the movers as they wrapped the piano in thick blankets. Itsuki helped guide it onto the ramp, his hands brushing the polished wood as if it were his mother's arm. Before the doors closed, Kosuke pulled Itsuki aside.
This piano knows its family. Once it's back where it belongs, the house will remember its voice.
The truck rumbled away into the thinning night, its headlights cutting a path toward the home that had nearly forgotten it. Itsuki opened his phone and typed a message to his father. The piano arrives in the morning. Make sure she's out of the house. I want it to be a surprise. The delivery truck pulled up just after dawn. Hiroshi stood in the open doorway, still wearing yesterday's shirt. With careful steps, 2 movers carried the upright piano up the garden path, its polished wood catching the first light of dawn. They set it down exactly on the faded dust outline, a perfect fit, as if the floor had been waiting. She's back. She's finally back where she belongs.
I never thought I'd see it again. Your mother's piano. It's really here.
The front door slammed. Sayaka appeared, dragging a suitcase behind her, her face contorted in unbridled rage.
You'll regret this. My lawyer will bleed this family dry.
She stormed to her car, tires screeching as she disappeared down the street without a backward glance. In the sudden quiet, the piano stood like a monument in the morning light, a testament to everything she tried to erase. At sunrise, Hiroshi sat at the kitchen table with a pen and a stack of legal forms. The title read, Petition for Divorce.
Itsuki, I've listed the financial fraud. This is the only way to make her accountable.
I'll sign as a witness, whatever it takes, Dad. Hiroshi signed with a steady hand, the scratch of the pen louder than any argument they'd ever had. Itsuki added his signature below, the ink binding them together in a pact of justice. A weight seemed to lift from the room. They shared a simple breakfast, smiles tentative but real. By noon, the documents were filed at the courthouse. The clerk stamped them with a finality that felt like hope. But by evening, a message arrived. Sayaka had hired a high-priced divorce attorney who promised to contest everything.
She's not giving up, but neither are we.
Let her fight. The truth is on our side now. Mediation began under cold fluorescent lights. Sayaka sat across from Hiroshi and Itsuki, her lawyer already looking weary. Hiroshi's folder contained not just statements, but the voicemail log and the certified appraisal. Sayaka's confident smirk evaporated as the mediator read the deleted voicemail date aloud. Her lawyer leaned in, a hushed urgency in her voice, and Sayaka's face contorted with fury. My grandfather built that piano with his own hands. She sold it for pocket change and deleted every trace. The mediator set down the papers with a quiet finality, her expression one of weary resignation. She advised Sayaka that contesting these charges would almost certainly result in criminal conviction.
We want nothing from her except her signature on the divorce and a waiver of all property claims.
Silence hung in the room before Sayaka, livid but defeated, nodded once at her lawyer. The lawyer pushed a waiver of all claims across the table. Its demands were absolute. Sayaka's hand shook as the pen scratched her name. The signature was a jagged slash. She stood, sneering one last time, then vanished through the door. The sound of her heels faded. Outside, her car roared to life and peeled away, leaving behind only the smell of burning rubber.
It's done. The house is ours again. The life she tried to steal is ours again.
I thought I'd feel triumphant. I just feel tired.
So do I. But it's a clean tired, the kind that comes after a storm.
They walked to the car in silence, the weight of the past months settling like dust. Around them, cherry blossoms danced on a gentle breeze, a quiet benediction. The future was uncertain, but the piano was home, and so were they. Evening light streamed through the shoji screens. Itsuki sat at the piano bench, his mother's sheet music open before him. His hands lay motionless in his lap. The notes on the page blurred into a language he suddenly couldn't read. She used to sit right here. Every time I close my eyes, I still hear her humming. But his fingers refused to touch the keys. The silence of the house felt louder than any chord. The floorboards creaked. Hiroshi stood in the doorway, watching his son frozen in front of the piano.
I used to stand right here and watch her play. She always started with this one.
Itsuki didn't turn around. The lump in his throat was a dam holding back a flood.
Will you play it for her, Itsuki? For Yuki?
Itsuki's hands lifted, trembling, and hovered above the ivory. He closed his eyes, and for a heartbeat, the house held its breath. Hiroshi walked over and settled on the bench beside him. Without a word, he placed a steady hand on Itsuki's shoulder.
She always said the first note is the hardest. After that, the music carries you.
Itsuki swallowed the ache in his throat. His hands stopped trembling. His fingers found the opening chord of Clair de Lune. The note hung in the air like a held breath. Then another, and another. The melody unspooled, delicate as thread. Hiroshi closed his eyes, the sound washing over him in gentle waves. Itsuki played as if his mother were guiding his hands, every phrase a conversation. The room seemed to brighten, shadows retreating from the corners. For the first time in months, the house felt alive. Hiroshi opened his eyes and watched his son's back, the tension in his shoulders melting with every bar. The piece unfolded like a memory, each phrase carrying a piece of her. Itsuki no longer played alone. I've waited so long to play this for you, for her. She's right here. Hiroshi's carefully constructed composure shattered. A tear traced a path down his weathered cheek. He didn't wipe it away. More followed, unbidden and relentless, soaking into his shirt collar. The music swelled, a cresting wave of emotion that filled every corner of the silent house. Itsuki leaned into the keys, pouring years of unspoken grief into the final soaring passages. Then, with a tender decrescendo, the notes softened like fingertips brushing a memory. His hands came to rest on a suspended chord, the vibration hanging in the air, refusing to end. Hiroshi's shoulders heaved. In the vacuum of the final silence, he wept without shame. Hiroshi pushed himself up from the bench, crossing the room without a word, his legs unsteady. He pulled Itsuki into a fierce embrace, years of silence shattering in that single gesture.
I'm sorry, Itsuki. I forgot what mattered. I forgot her.
She never left, Dad. She's in every note. They held each other as the last light of day draped over them, the upright standing silent witness. When they finally pulled apart, Hiroshi cupped his son's face, his voice still raw.
I'll never let anything come between us again. I swear it.
Then let's fill this house with music, Dad, the way she would have wanted. They sat together on the piano bench, the sheet music still open, Debussy now a shared secret. The dust outline on the floor had disappeared, reclaimed by the instrument that never truly left.
She dragged me to this tiny shop in Asakusa. The old owner said no one had touched it in decades, but your mother played Chopin and claimed it.
I can see her there, the whole shop holding its breath as she played. I've been teaching kids on this very piano at Kosuke's shop. He said it deserved to be heard by fresh ears. A gentle laugh bubbled up between them, a sound the house hadn't held in years. Did she ever teach you that little folk song she loved?
She tried. I had 10 thumbs. She said I had the soul but not the fingers.
Then let me try. I'm a better teacher than she was. Hiroshi placed his hands on the keys, self-conscious, and Itsuki guided them with patient hands. A halting, primitive melody emerged, and it was the most beautiful thing either of them had ever heard. That was perfect, Dad. Now play it again, and this time I'll join you. Itsuki leaned over, his fingers finding the bass keys. A soft counter melody rose under his father's hesitant treble. The folk song wove through the room, simple and unpolished, a thread stitching them together.
I'm hitting every wrong note, and I don't care. This is what she wanted.
Itsuki grinned, tears pricking his own eyes, and played louder. The wrong notes became their signature. Hiroshi's once stiff shoulders swayed with the rhythm. For the first time, he belonged at that bench. The duet stumbled to its end on a final, laughing chord. They sat in the echo, breathing hard but light. See? I told you. You have the soul. Now we just need to work on the fingers.
Soul is enough. More than enough. Thank you, son.
They shared a look that needed no translation, an apology and an acceptance, sealed with music. Hiroshi reached into his jacket and withdrew a slim envelope, placing it on the piano's closed lid.
After I explained everything, Kosuke returned your payments. He said the piano already had its owner. This envelope is the deed of ownership. It's yours, Itsuki. Signed over this morning.
Itsuki's fingers shook as he lifted the flap and unfolded the official document. I don't know what to say, Dad. This is...
Your mother would be so proud. She always said you'd inherit more than her eyes.
He pulled his father into a wordless embrace, the deed pressed between them. In that moment, the piano in the corner seemed to hum a silent chord of approval. The last piece of the puzzle clicked into place. The music could finally belong to its rightful heir. Dad, I've been thinking, I want to defer my conservatory for a year. I'll teach kids here, on this piano. Turn our home into a studio.
That's a wonderful idea. We'll convert the sunroom into a waiting area.
This piano deserves to be heard every day. That's how we keep her alive. Hiroshi nodded, his eyes glistening. For the first time, they were building something together.
She always said music should never be a secret. This house will sing again.
I'll start tomorrow. Flyers in the neighborhood, an open house. Outside the window, cherry blossoms carried on a late afternoon breeze, a gentle promise of spring. The piano stood ready at the center of it all, no longer a relic of the past, but the heart of a future. Father and son exchanged a look of quiet determination. The work was just beginning. The little girl's fingers stumbled over the opening measures of Clair de Lune, but Itsuki only smiled. From the doorway, Hiroshi watched with folded arms, a cup of coffee forgotten in his hand. That's it. Slow down. Let the notes breathe like she used to. Sunlight streamed through the shoji screens, pooling around the piano's polished legs. The dust outline that once haunted the room was now a distant memory, replaced by sheet music and the scent of fresh coffee.
This is what she always wanted. Music filling every corner.
The girl played on, and the house, for the first time in months, felt completely at peace. Hiroshi lifted his cup in a silent toast to his wife, then took a sip. Itsuki caught his father's eye and nodded. The music played on. Later, when the student had gone and the house fell quiet, Itsuki took a small frame from a drawer. He placed the photo, his mother smiling, young and bright, on the piano's polished top. I'll keep playing for you, Mom. Every day, this house will have your music. He sat, and without sheet music, his hands found a gentle lullaby she used to play. The melody was simple, a stream of quiet notes that filled the empty space. The photo seemed to smile, the lamplight catching the glass like a blessing. Itsuki closed his eyes, letting his fingers speak the words he'd never been able to say. The lullaby ended on a soft chord, lingering like a held breath. He opened his eyes, traced a finger over his mother's face in the photo, and smiled. In the silence, The piano stood with its new guardian and the memory it would never let fade. The sun set beyond the shoji screens, casting a final golden glow across the piano's polished lid. The last chord of the lullaby faded, its echo lingering in the quiet air like a held breath. Silence settled over the house, not an empty silence, but one thick with memory and music. Months ago, a woman with a cigarette had dismissed it. It's just a piano. Her words were as cold as the ash she flicked to the floor, and just as weightless. This piano held 3 generations of hands, a grandfather's genius, a mother's lullabies, a son's tears. As dusk deepened, the polished wood seemed to glow from within, like a heart beating softly in the dark. The photograph of Yuki smiled down from its perch, a silent guardian of the music that would never cease. It was never just a piano. It was the soul of a family, finally returned home.